What is up, everyone? So I'm back playing some more Mono Dark, and I know I did this very much early on in the generation, but that team is fairly outdated now with Chi Yu being banned and Kingambit being banned. I'm not sure if I had Xian Pao on the team, but that's also banned now. So this team, old team, pretty much is not viable anymore. It's not usable, so I decided to update that with a new Mono Dark video. And this team is insanely fun. It's not necessarily the most consistent team. I don't know if it's the best team to ladder with, but when it gets going, it is so fun, and you can just absolutely clean through so many teams. So with that out of the way, let's jump right into the team. And first up, if you've watched the channel before, you've probably seen this Grimmsnarl. It's a personal favorite of mine. I think it's a fantastic support option on any dark or fairy team. It is dual screens, parting shot, Grimmsnarl with max HP and max defense, just to make this thing fairly physically defensive, like as much as it can be, and especially paired with Reflect, this thing can take a fair few hits. Light screen as well is also fantastic to reduce special attacks, and this goes for, of course, the entire team. Paired with Light Clay and Prankster, it's pretty fantastic, as Light Clay will increase it from 5 turns to 8, and Prankster guarantees that it goes first, thanks to giving it +1 priority. Next up, we have Parting Shot, and Parting Shot is a fantastic momentum tool, especially paired with Prankster. So what this lets you do is you click Parting Shot, lower my opponent's attack and special attack, and then I get a free swap into one of my Pokemon. Now bear in mind, since it is priority thanks to Prankster, chances are the Pokemon you swap into is going to be taking the attack, but if they're -1 attack, special attack, and behind Light Screen and Reflect, typically speaking, you can take most attacks that aren't like super effective or super strong. And finally, we have Spirit Break, and Spirit Break is a decently reliable stab move. 75 base is pretty okay, but paired with this fantastic natural 120 base attack, it hits surprisingly hard, even with 0 investment. And why I really like Spirit Break, it also guarantee lowers your opponent's special attack, making Grimmsnarl even more bulky and making your team even more have potential to swap around. So I must say, there's a couple of interesting interactions of Parting Shot I want to go over before I jump outside of Grimmsnarl, and that is, does not affect Dark type Pokemon. Because I have Prankster, Dark types are immune to Prankster status effects, so if you're trying to use Parting Shot, do not use it on a Dark type, they are immune. And secondly, if you use it on a Magic Bounce Pokemon, it actually acts as a semi-phasing technique, so it forces the Magic Bouncer out, which is really interesting. So if a Diancie is trying to Calm Mind in your face, or maybe a Hatterene is trying to Calm Mind in your face, and you have nothing for it, you can take in your Grimmsnarl and force them out with Parting Shot, which is kind of fantastic. So all in all, this Pokemon facilitates Greninja, Moltres, and Roaring Moon to do some crazy, insane sweeps. Hopefully I get them off today. When I was testing this team, my luck was so bad, it was borderline unholy. I just got crits so often, or got crits so often. Behind Light Screen, Reflect, Parting Shot, Spirit Break, they could be like -2 special attack, and Light Screen, of course, that would have done like 14% maybe. Suddenly they crit me and Oko me, and it's just insane how much that happened. Like, it consistently happened to this team. So much to the extent I was wondering, like, is there something wrong with Showdown that crits are happening way more than they should? But I just think my luck was really bad, so hopefully it's not the case in today's video. So next up we have Greninja, and this is a pretty interesting Greninja in my opinion. It is going to be Battle Bond, not Protein, which is kind of strange. You'll expect to see Protein a lot more this generation, especially after the Battle Bond change. I'm not going to say it's exactly a nerf, well, it probably is a nerf, but it still has a reasonable amount of usage. So what this does is, after KOing a Pokemon, it raises your special attack, and your speed a stage. Now, unfortunately, this is only once per battle, so if you swap out, it is no longer in effect. However, it can still be pretty good. With max speed, max special attack, and 4 attack with a mild nature, so this is kind of an interesting one. Let me explain that. You could absolutely run a Hasty if you wanted for the extra speed. Personally, I like that extra bit of special attack. It boosts you nicely with Battle Bond after a special attack boost, and Life Orb means you hit really hard. Also, your speed is pretty decent as it is, and after a speed increase, you're going to outspeed a significant portion of Choice Scarfers. Not all of them, but a significant portion of them all the same. We also have Life Orb because it increases both my attack and special attack. Increases all my moves by 30%, which is good for both attack and special attack, because the reason we have 4 attack EVs and not a minus attack nature is because we are running Gunk Shot for fairies. It is base 120 and super effective on fairies, especially after a +1 and Life Orb. It's going to OHKO most things that aren't immune to it. Most non-steel fairy types are going to die to a Gunk Shot, which is pretty good. Next up we have Water Shuriken, partially because we have to, because of Battle Bond, but also because priority is quite nice and we don't have any other priority on my team. So Water Shuriken can be a fantastic option to finish off a low HP Pokemon, kind of mid-game or late game. You just Water Shuriken them, you finish them off, you get your Battle Bond, and suddenly Greninja can sweep through the rest of the team. Next up we have Surf. It's pretty self-explanatory, just a very strong, reliable stab move. 90 base is very strong with absolutely no drawback. You can run things like Hydro Pump if you want that extra bit of risk, high risk, high reward. However, I think the team is inconsistent enough as it is that I didn't want Hydro Pump, but it does hit that significant bit harder if you want to go down that route as well. And finally we have Ice Beam, and Ice Beam is mainly there for dragons in the tier because, and actually grass types give my team a bit of trouble, as do dragons, so it's nice to have the Ice Beam. You can run Dark Pulse as well, but the team has a decent bit of dark coverage, so I don't think it's strictly necessary. Next up we have Moltres, and Moltres is going to be my second of my sweepers. Again, it's a pretty classic Moltres. It's going to be max special attack, max speed with a modest nature. You can run plus speed, and the only reason I think you would want to run plus speed is because at +2 with agility here, you still don't outspeed Choice Scarf Meowscarada. However, with a timid nature, you do. That said, I like that extra bit of oomph as well, and Meowscarada it's a tough Pokemon. It's workaroundable, but for some reason I saw so many grass types as well when I was practicing this team or trying to test this team. I don't know if some other popular YouTuber uploaded like a monograss video recently, because it was like the same team I was seeing over and over and over again, and it wasn't me and it wasn't Nathan, so unless there's other popular monotype YouTubers out there that I'm not aware of, it's just crazy to see that same team. And it wasn't even the same person, it was like 4 different accounts with the same team consistently again and again. So I got very used to fighting Meowscarada. That's how I know that you need the plus nature if you want to outspeed it if it's Choice Scarf. So agility and nasty plot, it's kind of a dual dance Moltres. However, behind Reflect and Light Screen and with Parting Shot, chances are good this thing is bulky enough that you can set up both your nasty plot and your agility and then kind of just go for the game. Berserk also increases your special attack a stage below half HP. And another strange and interesting interaction here is that Sheer Force Pokemon will not activate your Berserk. So if you're hit by like Landorus or Nidoking or Nidoqueen, for example, they are holding Sheer Force with a Sheer Force boosted attack, it ignores the secondary effect of the move, and I think Berserk is counted as a secondary effect that it boosts your opponent's special attack if your attack hits them below half HP. So kind of a strange interaction, but just bear in mind you're not going to get Berserk if you get hit by a Sheer Force move. We have leftovers for longevity, again behind Screen and Reflect. You can actually just go below the 50% threshold for Berserk, get leftover back up above 50%, and when you go below again, you do activate Berserk again, which is pretty nice. Then we have Fiery Wrath, which is a just ridiculously good stab move. It's 90 base, 20% chance to flinch. Pretty much no drawback. Dark is a really good spammable type, and it is stab and can flinch your opponent. Next up we have Air Slash. It's significantly a bit weaker, also has less accuracy with a tiny bit more chance to flinch. Realistically, I would never click this unless my opponent is resisting dark types, so if they're dark type themselves, or for example if they're a fighting or fairy type. Other than that, I would literally always click Fiery Wrath. I guess in the situation where your flying type is super effective, you can click it too, but chances are good that with a nasty plot and Super Berserk boosts, Fiery Wrath is going to be OK in most things anyway. If you want to again be a bit more unreliable, you can run Hurricane. It's really good for the water matchup and it's hit so hard. However, again, when tested, I just missed so much that it was inconsistent and too much so for my liking. Next up we have Roaring Moon, and you're probably starting to see a trend here that I don't like to run plus speed natures on these Pokemon because they all have speed boosting attacks or abilities in Greninja's case. However, you can absolutely run plus speed nature here, and it's enough to outspeed a lot of things after Dragon Dance. But even with an adamant nature, you're going to outspeed a lot of things with Dragon Dance regardless, especially things like Choice Scarf Lele. You do outspeed, which is an extremely important check to make. With an adamant nature, this thing is just so strong. 414 attack is kind of insanely strong, and it is boosted by Sun thanks to photosynthesis, so it makes the fire matchup even easier. Moveset wise, you have Dragon Dance of course to increase my attack and speed, and again behind Reflect, Light Screen and Parting Shot you can easily get some Dragon Dances up. We have Crunch just to hit nicely, reliably and strong, because we have to lock ourselves into Outrage, which I don't particularly like against a lot of teams, so Crunch is that slightly less risk but less reward stab option. Now if you are struggling a lot with grass types or steel types, you can run Fire Fang as well. Not my preference. I like Crunch, but you can also run Fire Fang here over Earthquake. But again, I like Earthquake for steel types and like steel fairies as well. are quite good. And next up, finally, we have Outrage, of course, and Outrage is there to hit like ridiculously hard. After a Dragon Dance, especially in Sun, there is, unless you're Steel or Fairy, you're going to go down to an Outrage. It's just that strong. And even more so, thanks to Dragonium Z, you get Devastating Drake, and as the name would suggest, it is absolutely devastating. 190 base stab. If you are not immune, you're just gone, especially after a few boosts, so it is an absolutely pivotal Pokemon in the late game. Next up we have Sableye, and it is going to be Mega Sableye. It's kind of my best options for fighting type. We have some options in Grimmsnarl and Moltres, but this is a very nice option because it is immune. It can also spread burns thanks to Prankster Will-O-Wisp or Magic Bounce Will-O-Wisp if you want to Mega Evolve it. And that is super good because it also pairs nicely again with Reflect, Light Screen, Parting Shot. Just all these tools to try and weaken my opponents so these three Pokemon can get the sweep is kind of the name of the team. Next up we have Calm Mind, and Calm Mind paired with Recover is quite good longevity, especially because we are in max special defense and max HP nature. Now this thing's stats suck. After Mega Evolving, they're pretty good. It's pretty bulky, again, especially behind your screen's support. And with Hex, you can boost your damage at Will-O-Wisp, and Calm Mind is also doing the same. It's quite a bulky Pokemon, though. It can easily go down to a strong Fairy move. I'm kind of on the fence about this thing. It has its purpose against some matchups and maybe not so much against others. Also, if you find you're down to a lot of physical attacks, you can of course run in max defense nature here. It's not necessarily a bad idea. Finally, we have Samurott, and I think Samurott is not necessarily the best Pokemon on the team. However, I really like the gimmick of Ceaseless Edge. So what Ceaseless Edge does is guarantees you set a layer of spikes if you hit the opponent, which is really good. Now, it is only 90% accurate, which is okay, because I think if it was 100% accurate, it would be the best move in the game, without a shadow of a doubt. It is also boosted by sharpness, so it's actually 1.5 times as strong as it says here. It's also stab on top of that, so this thing hits really hard. Even with its mediocre 315 attack, even with like max EV investment, it's not that amazing. And its speed is a little pitiful too. However, with Choice Scarf, it's decently fast. Not going to outspeed some key Choice Scarfers like Tapu Lele, and as well as that, it goes down to things like Meowscarada, so it is a bit unfortunate, not the best speed tier, but to try and get down spike layers as quickly as possible can be pretty good. We also have Aqua Cutter, again only 70 base, it has a high critical hit ratio which is nice, but it is boosted by sharpness, so it's actually 105 base before stab, which is quite good. All my moves here are going to be sharpness boosted. We have Sacred Sword, base 90, boosted by sharpness, which is kind of insane, so it's going to be base 135. Fighting is good for breaking through opposing dark types or opposing steel types, and it ignores any stat changes, which is good. So if they are an iron defense body press Pokemon, chances are good Sacred Sword can actually clean through them pretty nicely, because otherwise this team can struggle a bit with defense boosting Pokemon. And finally we have Aerial Ace, and that's kind of there for fighting types now. I'm not sure if it's that good, to be honest. I think there's other things you could run if you particularly wanted to, but I want to try it out for fighting types, but I don't think it's strong enough to OHKO a lot of fighting types, even after the sharpness boost, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. So if you're not fancying Samurott, if you don't think you want a second water dark type on the team, I would suggest trying to run maybe Incineroar with like heavy duty boots, Intimidate. It can also run Parting Shot, so it can be a fantastic facilitator for your sweepers. You can run Toxic as well if you want, or Wisp if you want to take that off your Sableye, and maybe Drain Punch, Darkest Lariat, or a fire move. Like I would try to avoid Flare Blitz if it was me, just because I don't like the recoil on it. So Blaze Kick it's not the most reliable. Its things fire moves aren't the best. I guess Heat Crush can be pretty good. Yeah, Heat Crush can be pretty good because it's pretty heavy. So that is an option if you don't want to run Samurott, but it's entirely up to you. Play around with the team. Change it if you feel necessary, and let me know in the comments down below what you think of the team, and what is your favorite new dark type introduced in Generation 9. So our first game here is against Mono Fire. Now my team does have some pretty good options for this. We do have Greninja's pretty nice. Honestly, Moltres is really good. And Roaring Moon and Samurott. Actually, you know what? I have some excellent options for them. They probably have a defogger in the form of Volcanion, but I want to try and get up some pressure early on against them. I kind of want to Aqua Cutter, but at the same time, I like Spikes. Spikes is pretty good. It hits maybe Volcanion. Burns unfortunate. Also, I couldn't just Aqua Cutter as long as Volcanion's there. They always technically have a swap in. This is pretty good for me. I kind of want to go into Roaring Moon right now and just click Dragon Dance. Because I have Outrage for Charizard, or Devastating Drake even, for Skeldurge. I guess Earthquake is really good too. They probably protect here. I'm going to Earthquake just in case they don't, because if I Dragon Dance there a second time, it's kind of greedy. I knew I could have gone for it, but I think +1 is honestly enough to KO everything. It doesn't really matter against Skeldurge because it is unaware. But Devastating Drake might KO. The thing is just so strong, like 414. Yeah, after spikes, I'm pretty sure this obliterates it. Nice. That was kind of the biggest threat to my team. I can just click Outrage now. And that kind of goes to town on their team. I guess they could Extreme Speed Sucker Punch maybe, if they have those moves. Volcanion comes in. I'll click Outrage. Pretty sure this KOs. Whoa! That is surprising. Not to worry. They're dead regardless. And this opens up my Greninja a lot right now. I guess there's a world where this is like Zard X, so I get hit by Confusion. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go Greninja here. I'll Surf, and that should be game, I think. I have options for Zard if it's X or Y. Interesting. Not sure if that's the play I would have made, because this is probably the only thing that can actually live. Now, in case you're like Sucker Punch or something, I'm going to just Water Shuriken here. Please hit 3 times. Nice. That should be game. They can Extreme Speed. It's not going to kill Grim. I can't even hit Sableye, actually. Yeah, no, they can't even Extreme Speed. GG. So this team isn't that high. It's only like in the 1400s, which is it's low for my standard. But you know what? I didn't have the time to ladder this completely up, so I just wanted to get another ground video out there while still popular. So with that, let's look for another game. Alright, we have some Mono Steel, which is certainly a winnable matchup, but they have some annoying things on their team. Like if this is Body Press Steelix, it can be quite annoying. Honestly, Earthworm can be too. I kind of want to open Grimmsnarl, but I'm kind of worried they open up Klefki. I don't have any form of removal on the team, so I guess we're just going to go straight into this and Sacred Sword you immediately. Hopefully put you... Nope, not out of range of Shed Tail. That thing's so bulky. That's crazy. Klefki comes in. I don't know what you can do against me. Iron Defense? This ignores it. It's fine. You can't be like Iron Defense Body Press or something. This is doing tons. I'm kind of confused what the set is. Is it like Dazzling Gleam? Training Case? Oh wow, that did a lot of damage. That's not good. I guess I have to hit this again just to damage it enough. And then we go... I guess Moltres is my only option. I guess I could go Sableye too. Like Grimmsnarl into Light Screen, into Parting Shot, into Sableye. Calm Mind. This is nasty. I think that has to be the play though. I think I got a Parting Shot here. They're going to Drain Case into Sableye. Hopefully it won't do too much. 80s. It's pretty strong, but not the worst. And I can Wisp here. Just slowly get some chip or miss. I think I lose to this. I think I straight out lose to this. This is a cool set. Really? I'm going to take a ton now. I don't even want to Wisp that badly. At this stage, it's just the principle of the thing. Like, I want to hit my Wisps. I guess I'll Calm Mind up in their face as well, but when my screen runs out, they're doing way too much damage for me. Yeah, they're doing so much. They're doing way too much, right? I'd have to, like, crit a Hex immediately. Yeah, GG. Unfortunate. I Yeah. I don't see an option here. I mean, they just Drain Kiss and win, right? I guess I could crit Earthquake? Nope. Okay. We'll forfeit this one. Alright, we have a game against Mono Flying. Looks pretty threatening. Looks like it has a good balance there. Now, Greninja does go really good against this team, especially once I take care of Mantine. I don't get much value from Ceaseless Edge here, unfortunately. I'm going to actually open up with my Sableye. They have Charizard. I guess Weather Ball could be like really scary, or like even Flamethrower, Fire Blast. Could be devastatingly strong. Actually, you know what? Roaring Moon is really good here. I just need a couple of Dragon Dances in their face, and it should be doing a ton of damage. They go into Zapdos, that's fine. I'm going to try and Wisp it. 30's, it's decently strong, actually. Hopefully no Para. Is that Specs? It's doing quite a lot. I feel there's a world where that's possibly Specs. No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Orangey. Nice. This is kind of forcing their Gliscor, I suppose, which is kind of annoying because Gliscor is a threat to my team. Okay, Celesteela. You can't seed me. Okay, Heavy Slam's pretty strong. So burning this is really good. I probably should just Hex this immediately, or try like burn the Gliscor coming in. But I want to get greedy. You're surely Haze, right? Yeah, I figured. I guess that's fine. I did a lot of damage. I mean, I burnt the Zapdos, I burnt the Celesteela. Both of that's pretty good. They're trying to burn me themselves. I mean, Ceaseless Edge, despite the fact that it won't get spikes down, is still pretty good in this game. I don't hate it. The burn there is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Maybe I'll just go for game here. I'll Spirit Break one more time. Just so this thing is doing like no damage. And we'll Parting Shot here for momentum. I want to go Roaring Moon, but I know 100% this is about to burn. Okay, the Defog. I'm gonna Dragon this. I'm gonna get greedy. It's a risk, but if they Scald Burn, it sucks for me. Yeah, I thought they'd swap out. I don't even think you can Oko me. I'm gonna Devastate Drake just to get rid of this. Just because it is a decently big threat. Now I can outrage the Mantine. Pretty much everything else can be outraged. I just didn't want to lock myself into that against Celesteela. Do I get greedy and go for another dance? I think I do. They could Leech Seed, which sucks. Yeah. That's fine, I suppose. Their Heavy Slam shouldn't be doing too much damage. Oh, they're Toxic. Interesting. That's quite bad for me, actually. Well, good to know that my Sableye pretty much walls that out entirely. I'll just crunch here again. Something takes a good like 60 to 70 off this. Or it dies in Mantine's case. There's no way you just gave me Mantine. Because that opens up my Greninja quite a lot. We can go Grim here. And we'll screen. Screen into, I guess, Moltres is probably the play. Yeah, Flamethrower obviously kills. I can take in Moltres. Like, even if you discharge, it won't KO me. It could crit. Gliscor. Unless you're Toxic. I'm not worried. Knockoff is fine. Defog is Fine. I'm about to OHKO your entire team. This goes down, right? This is +6. It's so strong. And stab, yeah, this dies. Even if you're a full Spadef, I think it dies. Now, even Scar Zapdos is slower. This goes down. Yeah, I win. Moltres is such a... Oh no, don't plot. That was a misclick. Moltres is such a ridiculous Pokemon. I feel like at times it's just plain easy mode. Like, once you get it set up, once you can get the screens out or parting shot into it and set up, it's such a late game sweeper. Alright, here we have a game against Mono Fire. This could be a tough one. I'm not sure what the Incineroar has going on. Volcarona can be scary too. There's just some things here that I'm not particularly fond of fighting. I guess Samurott's pretty good early. Actually, Sableye is pretty good early. I can attempt to just block all of Torkoal's antics. I'll Calm Mind. I know, like, this is completely walled by Incineroar. 39's not bad. And you know what? If it's Zardex, it can be put in range of Greninja. And it is indeed Zardex. Greninja is actually really, really good in this game. I'm going to go ahead and Ceaseless here. As long as this connects, very good for me. I'm assuming it's Boots Incineroar and Boots Volcarona. It might be Boots Torkoal, I'm not sure. We'll find out in a moment. I'm just going to spam this. I know they could Rapid Spin, they could Yawn here. They can Rocks as well. Okay, it's Heat Rock. Good to know. So obviously they spin, that's fine. I'm actually just going to get my spikes down regardless. Ah, no. That's so bad. Actually not that bad. I'll just take like a small bit of chip. It's kind of annoying. Not the end of the world. Once I get rid of Torkoal, or once I stop this thing getting its sun in later, I'm pretty happy, because then, honestly, my Greninja goes crazy. Yeah, Greninja like tears through this team right now. Cool. That's what we wanted to see. I'm going to Aqua you right now. I don't know if knocking off was the play. Maybe they want to get into like Zard. Actually, Volcarona could be a threat. So could this if it's G-Fog. If it's G-Fog, I'm going to Ceaseless Edge here just in case. Because I do value my spikes down. Oh, trailers. Excellent. In theory, you're a threat. In practice, not really. They flame here, doesn't even KO me. They do burn. It's actually not a terrible situation for me. Because, yeah, Volcarona... Oh, it's not Boots. The reason it's not terrible is because if for some reason this didn't kill at -1, which it did, the burn will KO me, and I still grab my momentum here. Now, Water Shuriken should absolutely KO. This would have to be like max Spadef for it not to kill. And that's game. GG. Getting spikes down early was very, very good for me. Yeah, and Greninja was a very strong end game, especially when they don't have a water immunity. But to be honest, I think Fire it's just not very good at the moment. This team is good, this team is very cool, but Fire as a type at the moment I think struggles with just too much. Alrighty, we have a game here against Mono Bug. A lot of hazards by the looks of it, which I do not like, because this team has no answer to hazards, honestly. That's kind of a fault of my own. Now, I kind of want to open up Greninja. If they open Galvantula, it's bad for me. You know, I'm just going to go Samurott. If I can force them to not get webs down. Really? Really, Samurott? Okay, it looks like I'm relying on a Moltres endgame. That's so bad for me. Either way, I'll Water Shuriken here. This goes down, it just absolutely invites in a free low kicks. That's the problem. I'm just telling low kicks, hey, you can come in for free and first impression me. It's very sad. Oh, Ceaseless Edge. I mean, it's the best move in the game. That or like Stone Axe are probably some of the best moves in the game, so I'm not going to complain too much. Huh? You trying to spin? I mean, I'll take the free damage. I don't think you should have done it, but I'll take the free damage. You... Surely first impression here. On the off chance you don't, yeah, I go for that. Now, it could be banded. It could be banded, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity to set up my screens. Maybe I should have opened Sableye. Try and bounce back their webs turn 1. Okay. I can confirm it's not banded, but it's also doing no damage, so that's fine. And we can Spirit Break here. We can't Parting Shot on this. That's so weak. Do you have like 0 attack IVs or something? I feel like I should be doing more than that. You die to spikes coming in. I don't think you swap out here though. Yeah, so I'll just go straight for another Spirit Break. And now I get my light screen up and I Parting Shot out on the Volcarona because that thing can be very scary, especially if it's running Bug Buzz. I don't think they run Bug Buzz too often on Bug, but you never know. The ladder is a scary place. The strangest things can happen here. Araquanid comes in. I guess with a Spirit Break. They liquidate, not doing too much. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and set up my Hyborian Moon for game. Oh, interesting. Do I just... Yeah, I Parting Shot here, I suppose. They could be toxic. Oops, wrong Pokemon. Okay, they're toxic. That's good to know. That's actually good to know. This is fine though. That was a misclick, but it's fine. Air Slash kills here. I think as long as I have my Roaring Moon and my Grimmsnarl healthy, I'm not too worried about Volcarona. Pinsir can be kind of scary. Oh, that lived. Honestly, surprising. Either way, I'll Agility up here on the Protect. Just so I'm guaranteed faster than both of these. I'm not about to miss, so I'm going to click Fiery Wrath. I guess it's good that I accidentally misclicked into Moltres and not Roaring Moon, because if I got Toxic on Roaring Moon, I'd be a little bit more under pressure, I think. Double Protect there is quite annoying. I guess this is fine, because I don't give Pinsir an opportunity to get a free Moxie boost, and we go Grimmsnarl here. I light screen into Volcarona or I reflect into Pinsir. Depending on what they go into, they go into Pinsir, so I reflect into this. I guess if it's like Swords Dance Pinsir, that could be a threat. X Scissor, yeah, let's do nothing. Let's Parting Shot here to Sableye. I guess close combat could be scary too, in theory. Perfect. So I should... I guess, yeah, no, if it's Quiver Dance Bug Buzz, it's still bad for me. Okay, it's burned -1 and behind screens. I think I'm okay to go into my Roaring Moon here and set up for game. I know it's super effective, but I mean, come on. How much damage could it possibly do? This is a strange set. Okay, yeah, that's game. I mean, this person was lower on the ladder, so I can understand some of their strange plays. But like -1, burnt and reflected Pinsir, you just can't swap the thing out, it's doing no damage. Okay, we have some Mono Steel, and honestly I don't see aggro too much, which... it terrifies me. I'm going to open up with my Sableye here just because I want to be able to bounce things back like Ferrothorn and Skarmory's hazards. I also would not mind a burn on this. That would be pretty nice. Yeah, I guess once I Mega Evolve this thing, yeah. Good play. Very good play, actually. Are you, like, Eruption? Your Magma Storm, that did a lot. That did way, way more than I wanted it to. Because I need to keep my Sableye healthy, I think. I'll go Samurott here. On the Flash Cannon. And what I'm going to do is just start sitting at my Ceaseless Edge. I don't care if this dies. That did a lot. I value spikes a decent amount. Shipping Heatran, Goldengo, Jirachi, yeah. Spikes are nice here. Unfortunate for me, I don't actually have any dark moves either. So this thing's kind of scary. You know what? I'll get max spikes up. 25's not bad. Stealth Rock, that's fine. Because Greninja is actually looking a lot better. I don't think it'll kill Aggron. No, I'll Ceaseless here. I kind of wanted to swap out, come back in and Sacred Sword, but Ceaseless is doing pretty good damage. And honestly, I die soon anyway, so... If I get one more Ceaseless Laugh... I think... That's annoying. I was gonna say, I think it puts it in range of Greninja, but honestly... This doesn't love taking Greninja either. We'll just Surf here. And this is kind of their best Roaring Moon answer. If you let me get +1, Ferrothorn goes down to Ice Beam. I don't think Jirachi goes down, but they might think I have Dark Pulse, so maybe they're too afraid to go into that hard. Heatran is definitely not the play. I mean, Surf absolutely KOs this. Gone. No, I don't have Dark Pulse, and I hope they don't go into these two things expecting me to have Dark Pulse. You're Mega Aggron, right? You have to be. Otherwise you get destroyed by this. Yeah, I figured. Oh, it dies anyway. Kind of thought Mega Aggron would be tanky enough to eat that. I guess not. I guess I'm wrong. Goldengo, Nazar reveal I don't actually have Dark Pulse, but I mean Surf is doing a lot regardless, so... I suppose it is modest Life Orb +1. It's very strong. Ferrothorn. I mean... You go down to Surf and we click Ice Beam. Anyway. But I'm pretty sure it dies to Surf. Now... If it's like Scarf Ironhead and they like mega flinch me like 50 turns in a row, then yeah, I'd lose, but that's kind of all they could do. That was a cool team though, I gotta admit. I love to see Mega Aggron. And the Heatran play was very good on the Will-O-Wisp. Alright, here we have some Mono Bug again. I think this time I've learned from my mistake and I want to try and open up with Sableye. I can spread burns pretty easily. I can also bounce back any sticky web attempts, which is pretty good. That did so much. Is that Bandit? And are you Guts? If you're Guts, excellent play. Like, really good play. You are Guts. That was a cool play. And scary one for me, actually. Not the end of the world. It's a really sick set, actually. Goliath comes in. You're probably going to first impression. I'll parting shot out. Okay, using first impression anyway. Let's go Samurott here. Liquidation does no kind of damage, and I'm just going to try and get my spikes up. They don't seem to have a remover. Unless they're maybe like remover Caesar. I guess they could be. Also, the Scarf set's really sick, but I personally wouldn't announce it Scarf. I wouldn't have thought that Scarf guts at all until they said something. So now I know a free swap into something like Moltres on the Earthquake. This is first impression, that's fine. Oh, no. Leech Seed? Leech Life even? Yeah. Okay, this is scary. I have to go in Moltres here. I want to be faster than you, so it's agility once. That's actually not too strong. I'm not going to mess around. Let's just Air Slash here. Like, obviously I want to get Plot up. Ah, no. This is a free first impression, so let's go Grim. I can't take a first impression, and I want my screens up pretty bad. Honestly, though, Roaring Moon's looking good here. I'll Parting Shot. Do I just set up Roaring Moon? No, because they still have so much first impression users. That goes down, but unfortunately I don't get my boost first. Now Low Kicks is the next biggest threat to my team. Heracross, it's a threat. If I can get a boost up, it's no longer a threat. Are you like CC? I'll surf here. Yeah, I didn't think I lived. But I can get my Moltres in and maybe go for game. No, because I'm going to first impression into Bullet Punch. That might win. Fiery Dance. Doesn't do too much. Air Slash, please connect. It should KO. Super effective, +2. Stab. I know Volcarona is bulky, but even still. This should KO. I'm just worried about like Bullet Punch into first impression does kill this. And the question is Roaring Moon strong enough to finish off the job? You die to Fiery Wrath, unless you're like Random Scarf. I understand their play, they're trying to wear out the turns. Okay, so let's think this through. Bullet Punch kills. No, Bullet Punch doesn't kill, right? Yeah. Excellent. I'm faster than both of these things. You could Sucker Punch. Oh, this is all a mind game. If he Sucker Punches, it's fine. Roaring Moon should live one. I Dragon Dance into Outrage and win the game. After it screens. Yeah. I think I just have to go for Air Slash here. Because I get this in, I reflect. I have to DD once. So it's assuming this lives. Oh, I don't know if it even does. I have to DD, right? They Leech Life and Sucker Punch. It might KO. Will Devastating Drake. Maybe not, but Reflect up. It is Tinted Lens though. I guess I could have. Yeah, no, because Guts Close Combat definitely would have KO'd. Okay. I'm faster. Outrage kills. Nice. That was a tough end game. I think I made the right play not sacking my Grimmsnarl because I know I needed screens up for this. Otherwise, Leech Life would have killed. Yeah, that was a really tough game. That was an excellent game. So non-specific use. For some reason you're watching this, really cool team, really good players. So I've not seen this name before on the ladder. I do expect to see it a lot more coming up though, because that is a nice team. Alright, so here we have some Mono Electric, and honestly, this is going to be very tough. Regieleki kinda tear through my team, as is Coco and Iron Hands. I guess my only option is Roaring Moon. If I can set that up, I can win, but that is easier said than done. So we're going to open up here with Grimmsnarl, because I value Light Screen a lot in this game. Like a ton. Yeah, this is a tough game. U-turn's fine, especially if they go Lecky here. They go Lecky. I'm going to Parting Shot. Now the question on my mind is, do I sack something? I guess Moltres is not totally useless. Nor is Greninja, nor Samurott. Honestly, none of these things are useless. I'm just trying to think, what's the easiest thing to get momentum with? I guess it's Greninja, so let's sack Moltres here. What? That did so little. 29 is really funny. Well, we know now, obviously, it's not Specs. I mean, hey, this is kind of good for me, actually. Very surprised. Coco walls me out, but based on little that did, I don't know if Coco can even Oko me here. Like, screens up is really good. I do think screens kind of devastates Electric. Like, once you get a light screen, or once you have something remotely bulky to just sit in front of their team and wall them out, they do not appreciate it. Okay, yeah. This comes in. 60 is not bad. Cool 60. And a flinch, we take those. Honestly, that could be game. You get to it KO'd. Easy. Coco dies coming in. Yeah, you want to get your terrain back up, I think, for Lecky. But I'm faster than Lecky. And in fact, I might even Oko Lecky. Okay. Hands comes in. Makes sense, that's Air Slash here. Fake out. Did so much. I know it was a crit, but still, wow. We're Air Slash. I feel bad. I feel like I've stolen this game. That was not fair. That was not fair, but I'm not too worried. Honestly, Greninja, after one Surf KO, kills Coco, kills Zapdos, kills Iron Hands. It's still slower than Lecky, but with the screens up, Roaring Moon just absolutely devastates it, so hey, I guess we'll take it. Alright, here we have a game against Mono Ground. Greninja goes crazy here. Especially if this Clodsire isn't Water Absorb. I feel like it is. Actually, even if it's unaware, it's fine for me. The question is what do I open up with? I guess Sableye? Kind of stop any, like, attempts of rocking or whirlwinding immediately. Honestly, Wisp is strong here too. Goodbye. I'm +1. I'm going to burn you. You can headlong rush me, it's fine. I was thinking I might go back to Fizz Def Sableye. I feel like it's unreliable having to get a Wisp off before you can do anything worthwhile. I can Hex kill you here, but honestly the fact you're burnt is good for me later in the game. Now, are you unaware? They Poison Jab. I guess they're gonna try and like just slowly wear me out. Really? 2 misses? Yeah. I was rolling the dice there, not getting poisoned. This is fine though, I can kind of scout if this is unaware or not. I should kind of know based on the damage. 38's pretty good. I'll Calm Mind once more into Recover. And we'll check now if this is more than 38. We're laughing. I'm wisping you. You're banded. You are 100% banded. You have to be Water Absorb Clodsire, right? We'll go Greninja. And Surf. Yeah, you are. Now the fact your burns is really good for me, because I can Ice Beam here. Toxic sucks. And I need this thing alive. I'll Ice Beam again. Maybe I get the roll. It's a roll though. I don't know if I want to risk that. That's fine. Worst case I can go Samurott afterwards. No, I didn't get the roll. And they recover obviously. Okay, let's go Samurott and start getting up my hazards. Even still, Moltres and Moon are still really good in the late game. Hippo comes in, you're probably going to try to get your rocks down. 24 is honestly not bad. And I'm going to go into Greninja. I want to Ice Beam so bad. I'm going to Surf. I think it's a bad play. Oh no, they give it to me. Fantastic. Now they can go X-Scale, they are faster. However, they have to live my Water Shuriken. And getting rid of Claw here is really good. Yeah, they're going to recover. Okay, they didn't need to Poison Jab me. Their Sand turns are wearing out. This opens up Samurott so much. Like crazy, actually. I'm going to cease this again. Just because I'm a tiny bit worried about Garchomp. X-Scale can't Earthquake me for free, because if it does, Tusk comes in. I'll go Grim here. I think this is the point where I set up for game. Yeah, it's to nothing. And Reflect, honestly, really hurts them here. Short of like a crit, or like 2 crits, I wore this out for days. For days. Agility once. I think I have enough Spadef to live Landorus because I'm immune to Earth Power. They can't Psychic, they can Sludge Wave me, puts me in Berserk range. Now they are Sheer Force, which means actually I'm not going to get Berserked. Personally, I think it's a weird interaction. I don't think it should work that way, but that is how it worked in the game, so it is what it is. So if someone has Sheer Force and they activate your Berserk, they don't activate Berserk because it's considered a secondary effect, and Sheer Force ignores secondary effects. Now I think it's a bit of a stretch, but that's how the game's programmed, and that's how it is. I just feel like some interactions in Pokemon don't work the way they should. They're kind of strange interactions. Either way, this should kill. Great Tusk easily goes down. I'll Air Slash. I miss. I didn't have to Air Slash. Darkness. Okay, never mind. That did 0. Then Fire Wrath absolutely kills. I think Fire Wrath might have killed, but I didn't lose much by not clicking it. Because I still had Samurott. And Fiery Wrath KOs, and that is going to be game. GG. Dark just has so many good like late game sweepers. Like we have Roaring Moon and Moltres, even Greninja. Like these 3 here are such like good late game sweepers, and Grimmsnarl, Samurott, and Sableye like, really facilitate them. I don't think the team is as good as the original Dark team with like Kingambit and Shiyu, but I mean that team was just broken. If it had Xianpao, even more so, but so much things from Dark got banned recently, and even still I think it's a high tier type all the same. Definitely not like top 5, I think. It might have been top tier towards the beginning of the generation, but after some of the Ruinous Quartet were banned and Kingambit was banned and stuff, it did lose so many good tools. But yeah, either way, it's definitely still a fun type, and hopefully I showed today it can definitely still be a good type. With that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to finish up here for today. I'm going to get to Generation 9 like Monotype pretty soon for my... I'm not like terribly excited to do it, but I feel like I have to venture into that sooner rather than later. So with that out of the way, I'll catch you next time, everyone. Take care and have a good